What's going on, guys? 8-Bit Glitch 39 here, and it's time for part 2 of my Midwest Gaming Classic experience. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed part 1. If you haven't checked out part 1, it'll be linked down in the description below, or just find the video on my channel. On that one, it's just a quick overview of the whole convention, of Milwaukee itself, set to some great music, just showing what a convention, or that convention to be specific, is more or less about, and what things I saw and did there. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. So this video, I want to talk a little bit more about in detail about what I did at Midwest Gaming Classic, who I saw, and my experience there, and also the pickups. So I'll make this as quick and as brief as I possibly can. So I flew into Milwaukee on Thursday. The original plan when we made this trip back in 2019, before the whole world went down the toilet, was to meet a couple days before the convention started, to just have some time to hang out, not have to worry about the convention and doing things there, to take away time of getting to know each other a little bit more and get to hang out a lot more. So I still stuck to that plan, and a lot of us did, but then as things went on and things developed, some people weren't able to make it, and so there was not many people on Thursday except for Do You Nerd that showed up that I knew. So again, flew in on Thursday, stayed at the Hilton. The hotel was pretty interesting. It was really nice looking and fancy. Some of us had some issues with our rooms and such. I won't get into details about that, but I will say that the hotel gave a very shining vibe, if you know what I mean.
Come and play with us. Forever and ever.
So after relaxing for a few hours, Do You Nerd got into town late, and they came to my room, and yeah, they surprised me right away with something.
Housekeeper, you want that off your pillow? I got meats for pillow.
Oh, he's not naked at all.
Oh, come on.
Wait, take 2.
Your room is bigger than ours.
Now, I'm actually only
It's cooler too.
filming this because I have something for you. We found something for you, Sean.
Okay. Another one? That is amazing. How did you find another one? That is amazing. I've never seen them ever in my life. So you find 2 is amazing. Oh, shucks. That's right, guys. They got me another Biker Mice from Mars book. I mean, it's not even the same one. It's not like they found the same one again. This is a whole different one. This is the Masked Motorcyclist, which I remember this episode very much. When they were fighting crime, they weren't letting Charlie get in on the action to help out. So she put on this, built a new bike, put on this like outfit, and would show up and like help him out like a vigilante hero. And they were all like, "Who is this mask?" And they would be telling Charlie all about it. And then finally they find out, you know, it's her at the end that was doing it all along. So anyways, I digress. They found this, and I can't believe it. It's in like perfect condition. I don't know how the heck they keep finding these, but I'm glad they pass it along to me, because I never see anything like that. So yeah, so Do You Nerd came in, and they we went out to dinner in the hotel lobby, and it was great to have dinner with them. Get to know Tom and Lacey a little bit more than when I met them at Siege. At Siege, it was like all of us all at once, at one time, and it was just like kind of overwhelming. But you know, it was nice to have that one-on-one time for a couple hours just to talk. And it was great food, cheese curds, chef's kiss, baby. Anyways, after that, we just kind of hung out in my room. Me and Tom played a little Streets of Rage 2. They brought their Switch. I didn't bring mine because I was flying, and I was trying to pack as light as possible. I only brought my Vita to play. So yeah, they brought their Switch because they had drove, and we set it up in my room. We were playing some Streets of Rage 2, a little bit of Mario Kart because they had the N64 and Genesis package on the online Nintendo. So we were able to play some of those games, which was really fun. It's been a long time since I played 2-player Streets of Rage, so that was really awesome. So then the next day, we got up. We had breakfast, we just hung out and talked for a while during breakfast, and then we went out, took a ride around, and we found a Walmart so that we could get some supplies to make J-Love and Mustang a sign, because we were picking them up at the airport later that afternoon. So it was funny, we were just hanging out in the subway inside the Walmart trying to make this sign on this small table, and all three of us trying to work on it and stuff. So it was awesome. J-Love and Mustang loved it. I think it was one of the highlights of their experience that weekend. So then, now that we had more of the team together, so to speak, we got some more involved. We got to see Back in the Day Gamer. We got to see Grant and Joe from Video Games Monthly. We got to see John Aguilera and his other half, Hope, and John Riggs showed up. The guys from Mortal Kombat were there in the hotel bar, and we were just kind of hanging out, having some drinks, talking, reconnecting again after all these years. Not seeing each other since, God, for a while now. We saw a couple of them at Siege and stuff, but a few of them I hadn't seen since 2019, so it was really great to touch base, get to see everybody again. And I know I'm probably forgetting somebody that night that was there, but you know, it just all kind of melds together after a while. So anyways, finally it was time for the first day of the con on Saturday. We had got our passes the night before on Friday, so that we didn't have to do that in the morning. And we went off to the convention. We could use the skywalk at the hotel, so we didn't have to walk outside. And we're coming down the escalators, and first person I see is RG Fam. He was right there at the bottom of the escalator just waiting for us, and so it was great to meet him. I was hoping to see him again because we were just it was kind of like a quick hi, how you doing, blah blah blah. We were just getting there and stuff, so, but I unfortunately didn't run into him again during the con, and I learned later that he had to leave early. He couldn't be there that long, so that was cool to get to see them. So, and then we all met up in the lobby of the I guess you call it the lobby area of the convention, and that's when we got Captain Algebra and his buddy Zach that came with him. We ran into a Freak of Four. We got Richard W was there. Let's see, and his sister Danny, and Bozeman, Midwest Gaming show, Midwest Media Show, I should say, Midwest Media Show was there. Again, Tony, Back in the Day Gamer, the BGM guys, and we all got this great picture with the Mortal Kombat guys, and Niemeyer, who did the art, and then I forget his name, but the guy did the voices on NBA Jam and other games. We all got this big group photo. It was really cool, really special. It was a great opportunity. And inside the con, when we were shopping, I got to meet MegaMat21, who helped me get my Contra Force, gave me a great deal on that just about a month or so ago, which you saw that on the channel here. TJ Kinsoon, we saw Gary from Rock Solid, of course. John Riggs, as I mentioned, Square Pegs, got to meet him in person for the first time. That was really special. And then old ass retro gamer Chris Pico was awesome to finally meet him. But it was really great. I've been following his channel for a lot. And yeah, just really great to meet Chris. I love seeing his pickup streams and trying to catch him live. But I watch them all on the replays at least. But love catching them live when I can. And then of course I mentioned John Aguilera, Retro Mikey, and Retro April. To meet them finally in person was great. Been following Mikey for a while now in April. So, and then of course Freak of Four I mentioned, and RG Fam. So if I forgot anybody else, I apologize. But I did love meeting everybody there. It was great fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it I want to talk about. Okay, so with that, guys, I think it's just easy to just go ahead and let's just do the pickups, and I guess leave it at that. So first of all, I'd like to since it was kind of in the lobby by the Mortal Kombat guys, It wasn't the first thing I picked up, but since it's kind of like right there as you walk in, I did get one piece of art, and I have it framed now so I can show it good. And this artist had this on there, and I said I gotta get it because it's one of my favorite arcade games, and it's like one of the most iconic scenes from that arcade game, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they're jumping out of the flaming building after Shredder grabs April. So yeah, I'll kind of get a little closer like that. If this footage isn't really good, I'll take some better B-roll of it if I have to, but there you go, that's it there. And you're probably wondering, well, how did you get that on the plane and not get it damaged and pack it? Well, obviously it didn't come in a frame. I got this after the fact. I got home. It was loose. So I was wondering how I was going to do that, and then when I was talking about it, Freak of Four, I was walking around with him, and he said, well, why don't you put it in something like that? And then I found out Lacey was going to tell me the same thing because she saw these, and that's this thing. A board game vendor was selling these, and I guess what they're for is, this actually had, I don't have them in there right now, but if I take this end off, there's like, you can put dice in here, and there's a stopper here. So you can put dice in there to carry dice with you, and then inside here you would put like a game, I guess, like game mats that you use to play card games, like a giant mouse pad looking thing, or for playing board games or something, and that's what you could carry it in. Well, I said, well, that's pretty cool because that's like the perfect size. So basically I took the art piece, and where you put the mat is I rolled it up and threw it in and put it in here, and then I put this in my backpack, and that's how I got the piece home safely. So I'm gonna hold on to this and probably take it with me to every con, so if I get any artwork I can just put it in there. Okay, so when I met Richard W, he gave me a couple of his new stickers here. So he gave me 2 of those. He was handing those out to everybody, which was wicked cool, so I appreciate that, Richard. Okay guys, I want to interrupt the video right here because while I was editing it, I realized something. I totally forgot to include this. You dick! Our good buddy, Richard W, also gave me these 3 G.I. Joe comics when he saw me. He brought those to the convention because he knew I was a big G.I. Joe fan and wanted to give these to me. We have one here that's from the Marvel's line series, issue number 6. Wait, that's 6? Yeah, 6 looks like. And these 2 from the Image comic line, number 3 and number 6. And I just love this cover. Isn't that awesome? That's like my favorite one of 3. But yes, so I wanted to make sure I thanked Richard in the video. I'm such an idiot. When I was doing the video, these were somewhere else in my room with my comics and totally forgot to include them. So thank you, Richard. Let's see here. And also Chris from Video Games Dust Sleeve had these made up for 2020. And I had some made up in preparation for 2020, but since it didn't happen, I ended up just sending ones out to people that were going to be there in the mail. And yeah, so Do You Nerd had these from Chris, and they saved them until they went this year. So this is a limited edition 2020 that never happened, Midwest Gaming Sleeve, and I had everybody sign it. We have Phoenix Resale on here. We got Retro Mikey, Mega Matt, J Love, Do You Nerd, Mustang, John Riggs, Retro April and Square Pegs, TJ Kinsu, Dan Bowman, all those, everybody who was there, Tony back in the day. So I had them all sign that, so that's a great souvenir piece for memories of that. And then of course Retro Mikey had Midwest Gaming Classic style special sleeves made by Chris, and he was handing those out to people, so I got one of those as well. So super stoked about that. Love adding to my YouTuber sleeve collection. I picked this game up. Hadn't really planned on picking up anything Super Nintendo, but I saw this at the table, and the guy knocked $10 off the price that was on it because I seemed interested in it and I knew a lot about it. And he didn't know anything about it because I was asking him stuff about it, and he didn't know. So I think that kind of helped. He knew that it was something I was looking at and looking for. So he knocked $10 off it, so I snagged it, which which was a great deal because that was a lot less than what it goes for. And this is The Adventures of Kid Cleats by Ocean on the Super Nintendo. If you don't know what this game is, you're basically this young kid trying to save the world from aliens or something like that. And it's a platformer, and your weapon is a soccer ball. So you kick a soccer ball while you're running, and you kick it into the enemies as your weapon. So that's basically the premise of it, and you're collecting pieces of something. I can't remember what it is, but it's something that got spread around the world. So you're going to different countries with a soccer ball, trying to collect those pieces. And then I also picked up these two games here. These were just randomly, I was digging through a box. And I didn't have this, and now it completes my trilogy of Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. I got part 2, the 6 coins here. So I picked that up, and I got a real good deal on it because it was really dirty and stuff, but I cleaned it up. You probably could use a little bit more, but this was all dirty and stuff. So I cleaned it up, tested it, it works. So I got that. And at the same, I bundled that with this to kind of get the price down. Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Power of Grayskull on the Game Boy Advance. This is an okay game. I got it because it's a He-Man game, so I figured it'd be great to have in the collection, at least for that purpose, or that reason. But it's an isometric kind of dungeon crawler-esque game. Think like Diablo-ish with He-Man. It's an okay game. But by combining with that, I got less off of the... I pretty much got that for free because I paid the price that he wanted for the Mario game, but because I threw that in, I basically got it for free. So I figured I'd grab it. And then what else did we get here? We got here premium edition games was there with a table and selling their games. And J-Love got this back at Too Many Games. Or was it Siege? It was either Siege or Too Many Games, and she was talking about it a lot on our Marco Polos and stuff, and I think even in her video and stuff. And it's called Pigeon Dev Games Collection. It's got 4 games in it. I haven't opened it yet, but it's got two games that are like Game Boy-esque. You're like a P, and it's a platformer puzzler. There's one that's like a Bomberman, and then there's another one that might be like a twin stick shooter, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But basically I picked that up. It's kind of a last item thought kind of purchase. So, because she had praises on it, so I figured I'd give it a shot and add it to the collection. Let's see here. I got this game, talked the guy down way below charting price. This is one I've been wanting to add. This isn't necessarily a heavy hitter. It's kind of a rare game, but it's not a heavy hitter in any sense, or a banger or anything like that for the NES, but it was definitely on my list of titles I wanted to get this year, and that is a Ninja Crusaders on the NES. And this is a very clean copy of it. I actually saw this when I first got there, and I waited until like Kong was closing on like Saturday until I jumped on it. So yeah, so because of that I was able to get a little bit more off of it, so it was awesome. Okay, and then let's see, I got these 3 from the same vendor, who, now story time, was a vendor. First thing when I got there, my mission was to get Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers 2. I need that title to complete my Disney NES collection. Once I have that, I'll have all the Disney Capcom NES titles. So first thing I did was I pretty much rushed around the con to every booth where all the NES heavy hitters would be, usually in the cases, and quickly just looking for that to kind of see if I could find it. I found it about halfway through the con at this guy's booth, and he had a price on it that I was kind of expecting it to be, but I kind of said, well, who knows, you know, the last booth I go to could have it for even less or something, so I'm not going to jump on it just yet. So I quickly kept going around, looking again, and trying to think if I should just jump on that one. And then Captain was asking anybody who wanted to go to lunch, and hadn't seen Captain in so long, so I went to lunch with Captain, and Dan Bozeman and Captain's friend Zach, and we had a great lunch, great time. Had a great time. Don't regret that at all. But when I went back to the con, I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna go get it, rip the Band-Aid off, and get it. I went back and it was gone. So he had other titles though that I was interested in. So I said I better get at least a couple of those now before they're gone. So one of them that's on my list and is a pretty mid-level banger title. It's kind of rare. Is the Cryon Conquest for the NES. This one's got a little bit of bubbling on the label there. I don't know if you can see that. I used that to my advantage to try to get the price down a little bit, and also I bundled 2 more titles with it, so that it felt better paying what I was paying for it. And these 2 are also titles that were on my list, so to get. And believe it or not, I did not have the OG Donkey Kong. I had the classics, but I didn't have the black label Donkey Kong. So I grabbed that one at this booth, bundled it with Cryon Conquest, and I also grabbed Batman Returns. This is a beat 'em up on the NES, and it's really good. It's a decent game. It's really fun. I was playing it. All these games work. I test them first thing I do when I get home, clean them and test them. And this completes my Batman trilogy on the NES. I have Batman the video game. You know, I just got Batman Return of the Joker on the NES from Too Many Games, and now I got Batman Returns. So that completes my Batman subset on the NES right there. And then, let's see if I'm forgetting anything else before I talk about this one. I don't think so. I think that was it. If not, I'll cut something else in here. Anyway, so then the last big thing was another big heavy hitter I got for the collection. This one I did keep waiting on, and then finally on Sunday, actually it was Saturday, wasn't it? I think it was Saturday. I jumped on it. No, it was Sunday. It was Sunday night. And first of all, I went through a free box and found this, and a box people were giving away stuff. So I grabbed this so I could carry this game in it for safety. But I got Scat on the NES. So this is a great, think like Contra meets a shooter. You're kind of flying around and shooting. So it's a shooter, shmup shooter, whatever you want to call it. But it feels like a futuristic Contra with a jetpack, let's just say. So I was a little deterred by it because there is a bit of a nick right there on the label, right in the corner, like that. But I overheard him talking to somebody just before I offered to buy it, and somebody asked him how he did this weekend, and he said, "Oh, I did really good." He goes, "But it's strange that the stuff like the higher priced NES games aren't moving." He said they usually in the past, all those top level NES games would be gone within the first hour of the convention opening. He goes, now they just sit there. So I'm thinking, all right, this guy needs to move some NES product. So I went over and said, what's your bottom dollar on the Scat there? And he knocked $10 off. And I said, I took it, looked at it. I said, there's a bit of a nick there. And I was like, well, I'll think about it. And then I took one step away, and then he goes, well, if you do cash, I'll knock another 10 off. So he knocked $20 off his price, so I said, sure, I'll grab it for that. So grabbed that, got a good deal on it, below charting, price charting in eBay. So I was happy with that. The little nick, I can live with it. Things don't have to be perfect for me. But yeah, grab that. So that's another title for my wish list on the NES done. So that's pretty much it, guys. So with that, guys, until the next convention, it's 8-Bit Glitch 79, and I'm glitching out.